how to do it this time.
I was going to ask that. Everything else that usually goes wrong whenever we take a bit of a break has happened. So that would be the final thing.
Yeah.
The last thing would be like, you hit it and we're on the wrong channel.
We're on Dan's channel the whole time. We don't realize it.
It's been my scheme all along.
We somehow screw it up to the point where it's not Dan's channel, it's mine.
And there's 3 TBLs all on the screen.
And there's 3 TBLs. It's all of us. We did that on purpose a couple episodes ago.
I can do it again. Don't make me.
Listen. Since the last time everybody saw me, we have had an exorcism. Yeah. I called my Cajun Bayou auntie up here. She got them spirits the hell up out of my house.
Yeah.
Haven't had any weird computer issues since then. Haven't had power going off or anything. So I might have finally expelled that ghost.
Good.
Wow. Congratulations. That's huge.
Yeah. It's very nice to not have a tech ghost with a really weird laugh. It's almost like I've heard that laugh before on a podcast that I do every Sunday. A laugh that I read complaints about every now and again in comments. I can't for the life of me.
Oh my god!
It's like every time the power would cut out or my computer would blue screen for no reason, I'd hear. I just heard it now.
Just the
Dan, do you know who this is? Or?
I have no idea. I had my own ghost story earlier this week.
Really?
Yeah, we got a sage candle. And
okay.
So
I have no idea what that is. It's like the actual smell, sage.
It just smells like sage.
Okay,
It's just a clean smell. And Jenny lit it downstairs in the kitchen, and she came up to talk to me about something, and we both heard like a clack 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 clack, and I was like, "What is going on?" We go downstairs, and like a salt shaker was knocked over. It was a whole thing. I don't know. This is the world we live in now.
You know what? Maybe that sage is good luck because, like, isn't the whole thing like you do a circle of salt to keep ghosts out?
Maybe.
So the ghost came, tried to haunt you, and bodied itself by knocking over salt. Only your RNG.
I should have said get good.
GG, no re-ghost. GG.
Just played you.
Yeah. You walk over to the spilt salt and just, do a little bit of kneeling. A little respect kneeling on the afterlife there.
Jenny's like, what are you doing? I was like, it's a video game thing. And she was like, no, that's just disrespectful.
Listen. You gotta style on them sometimes.
Yep.
You gotta show who's alpha.
Just let her play Trials for 2 games. She'll understand.
Take a dip.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's why you sit on an exercise ball. It's to practice your balance when you take a dip.
Yeah.
Not on the exercise ball right now. This is the new office.
What?
I'm standing. It's very nice.
Do you stand at all times when you're at the PC?
Not at all times.
Okay.
But like today I sat on the yoga ball, but for the podcast I was like, I'm gonna crank up the desk and test this puppy out.
I respect it. I might stand up here in a second too. If you're standing, I'm gonna stand. Hold on.
I can stand for that.
I'm not. It's gonna completely throw off my camera. Like I'm gonna be above the camera, and things are gonna.
We'll be looking at one thing that might get TOS.
Yeah.
Right. Is your camera following you up?
Huh? My camera's on my desk.
Yeah, it's on his.
So my desk is going up. My camera's going up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. You have one of those lifting and lowering desks.
He also has a cameraman. He hires a cameraman.
Yeah, I didn't tell you about the guy that I paid specifically for that.
Just to sit there and keep the lighting good,
right?
Keep the camera on you, nice and square.
His
Put
shoulders
your titles up in the lower third.
He has very defined shoulders from holding out the webcam for hours on end. It's impressive, actually.
I'm glad that you're the one production professional on this show. Speaking of, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 272 of the Planet Destiny podcast. I think it's 272, right?
272. Oh, yeah.
It is.
I forgot to change the thing, but yeah, it's 272. Don't worry. Nobody look at the number in the corner while I fix that. There we go.
Right.
All right.
Just ignore that. If you're listening to audio, you have no idea what's going on or who we are.
Yeah.
Well, we'll fix that right quick. Welcome back to the show. Joining us this week, the one, the only Mr. Iceman once again.
Hello.
Welcome back to the show, man.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's great to have you here. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, and you are the perfect guy to discuss some of it.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
We'll find out. Also, of course, we've got Mr. Dan Finity. How you doing, man?
Why, hello! Greetings! Good tidings to all of you. Glad to have you.
Yeah. Great to see you, man. I'm glad you got to hear a little bit before I joined in on the video call. You changed up your office space a little, huh?
Yeah, it's not bad. I've got this space back here now that I can actually peel back the curtain if I want to. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And, everybody in chat probably can't hear me, but it's.
If you went a little further, there's an actual dead body back there. He showed me before. Sorry. Oh, and I shouldn't have said that. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. That was his cameraman that did not do a good job. So he's looking for a new guy. Chat, if you're out there.
I'll be right back.
Right. That's good. I like that you have hidden secrets behind your. Oh, well, there goes Dan.
Yeah.
Anyways, my name is the Black Link, and welcome back to the Planet Destiny podcast. We got a lot of things to talk about this week because it's been a couple weeks since we've had an episode, and in that time we had the return, and then the exit, and then the return of Trials of Osiris. We have the release of Grandmaster Nightfalls. Those went live this week, alongside the Adept rewards. The Adept Swarms. Still haven't gotten my hands on one. Someday.
It's worth it.
Someday.
Yeah. It's worth it. I would definitely get a roll. It's a very good LMG.
Yeah, I'm super psyched about it. Really happy, and we'll get into the talk about Grandmasters and Adept rewards and that entire system in just a bit. We also had update 3.1.1.1 go into effect, and in a couple of days we have another hotfix going live that is going to make some major changes to stasis. Overall, especially in the Crucible. It's a Crucible-focused hotfix that is looking at nerfing the Stasis subclass quite a bit. Whether or not it'll be enough, who knows? Probably not.
Probably not.
Where do we start this party off?
Well, here's the thing. I just want to ask one of the real questions that has been bugging me over the past couple weeks, and I wanted to ask you guys this in the host chat, but I didn't know how to bring it up. So, were you Team Monster or were you Team Dino? Like, I think
I was Monster.
The most important question of this
age-old
episode.
question here, huh?
I was Monster, 100%. I'm really sad they didn't win.
Yep. Same.
I only join winners, so Team Dino all the way. I want it to look like a piece of the Megazord, and I will come this Festival of the Lost.
The Kmart Megazord?
Yes, my favorite Megazord. It's like the off-brand Megazord, because you can afford to get the full transforming 5-piece Megazord kit, so you get the Ultrazord.
Yeah, there's a blue light special on at the Eververse. It's coming in November.
Yeah, we're gonna have some mix match pieces there. A Dino head and like a Voltron leg. Doesn't quite go together, but you're a kid. It doesn't matter.
Here we are.
Yeah. So you're referencing the Festival of the Lost sort of poll that Bungie held a couple of weeks ago, where they did something pretty cool. I thought the overall contest was pretty neat. They were showing off 2 hypothetical bits of armor that they could be making for Festival of the Lost as kind of like an ornament set, and they wanted to theme it after monsters from movies, so movie monsters or whatnot, or dinosaurs, and they allowed the community to sort of vote on which motif would win, and the correct choice won. Dinosaurs. Mechanic dinosaurs.
I have to hard disagree.
Yep.
Even the monster Titan armor, even though it was kind of stupid and kind of memey, at the same time I was like, I could get behind that.
It's
but
Ray
the warlock and especially the hunter one, I'm a hunter main, so I'm super biased toward it, but man, that looked so good. Although the Raptor Hunter doesn't look bad. It's whatever.
Don't give them an inch, Iceman.
I'll get over it. All right, fine. Team Monster until the day I die.
Exactly. Same. Right
here
in this chest. This heart beats Monster.
Well, so
I did like the concept though. I love the pole concept.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah. Like I don't think they've ever done anything quite like that. I mean, because Festival of the Lost isn't for another several months.
Right.
So it's kind of cool that they kind of took the hypothetical armors that they were looking at designing and said, you know what, rather than like us just making an internal decision, let's throw these designs out there and see what people have to say about it. Hopefully we get to see the movie monsters anyway.
It would have been cool to see like an internal Bungie poll, like give them the same poll to Bungie, and then compare that against what the community says, and kind of see what the odds were.
See who at Bungie to purge? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. Everyone who voted Movie Monsters, please line up over there.
Your jobs are gone.
No
Sorry.
reason.
Goodbye.
No reason. That wasn't the only poll they put up. I think they put up one in this week's TWAB that was asking about like which enemy type is more annoying or terrifying, and it's the Vex chicken, the Thydras versus Taken captains. How'd you guys vote on that?
Hydra.
See, I'm
They're
taking captain.
terrifying. Are you?
Yeah, just because they're blindy boys and they teleport all over the place.
They do have the teleport, but the Thydras just have that slam, dude. They throw you across the map into a wall, and you're just dead. You can't do anything about it.
You have slamming thighs. You're right.
Slamming thighs.
Yeah.
I mean, we have thighs that thick. You can't help but throw things in the wall.
Ooh.
3 C's.
Thick like a Wendy's Frosty.
Dude, I haven't eaten dinner yet. Please don't. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, Thydras win in that fight, but I find taking anything to be the more annoying enemy. Taking captains are just so annoying.
It's a teleporting. All the taking enemies teleporting is just like, come on, please.
Oh. And then
like I'd be okay with Bungie retired taking enemies. I mean, we killed orcs.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to body Savathun. Ziva or Wrath doesn't know how to take things. Just let them die after this. I hate Taken. I honestly do. I hate the Taken so very much. I hate that enemy type. They suck.
I think I don't like the enemy type. I like the lore behind them. But the enemy type themselves, like mechanics wise, I can't stand. It's just you're literally in a Kovacs, a game of Kovacs, the whole time you're fighting Taken. It's like I don't want to aim train right now. I'm good. I'll go somewhere else for that.
Oh, I hope you peeped that spawn behind you, taking phalanx, by the way. Oh, you were next to a wall. How unfortunate for that Grandmaster run.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Grandmasters went live this week.
Whoop, whoop.
We got those Nightfalls. The first one, of course, I think it's rather appropriate. The first Grandmaster Nightfall is the first strike we do in Destiny history, Sepix Prime.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a good one. It's a good strike.
Look, I don't want to say that I don't like D2 strikes, but every time they introduce a D1 strike into the game, it becomes my favorite strike immediately.
Yeah.
Like they brought back the Omnigul strike, and I was like, oh, this is way better than a lot of the D2 strikes. Then they brought back Sepix, and it's like, I'll farm this all day.
Yeah.
I love this strike.
Yeah. The only one that let me down, this is kind of on topic, was Saber. And they brought that back. They brought it back with the old amount of ads, especially in the boss room. There's like 4 ads that spawn in there, and it's just like, okay, we annihilate it and then we kill the boss and that's it.
That's it.
Okay, I was expecting a little bit more than that, but like Sepix was fantastic, and the music's so good.
Yeah, I was upset about the Fallen Saber strike for a different reason. You can't shoot the grate open and then find a ghost in the vent.
True.
Which is very upsetting. I thought that was gonna be something else, but
and you don't have to throw your grenade down there to pop that thing. You can just shoot it now.
Yeah, no, the kids have it too easy nowadays. You used to have to throw like a grenade down there and maybe it would pop it, and then
and then
it doesn't happen. You're like, hey, you got a nade? No, you got a nade? No, all right, we're gonna sit here for a minute and a half. All right, hold on.
Shame. You had to sit in shame. You knew what you did.
Generation Z has it too easy.
Damn kids. So I haven't had a chance to run the Grandmaster yet because I'm trying to get myself up a little bit more in light so that I don't drag my team down quite so much. But you guys have.
Correct. I have.
What did you think?
You first, man. You. Oh, okay. I thought it was great. I thought, you know, like the conversation about the amount of ads. We had this talk when it first came back as the Nightfall, where it's like it's the perfect nostalgia rush, right? Like, because that was one of the strikes that I most identify with Destiny 1. Having it come back, it was great to kind of go those corridors and have all those enemies on you. And then, Sepix is a fun boss mechanically. Yeah. It's just like a sponge, but other than that, like it was a lot of fun, and I got to I played with like Sutledge and one of his buddies, Kaneho. doing the first run, and then Dunes and Jaden for a couple, and it was just a really good time. I got 3 rolls on the Swarm that I have yet to fire, but 2 of the new Adept mods. So it's pretty freaking cool, man. I had a lot of fun. I might actually guild my Conqueror title this season.
Let's go. And then you can show it off for 2 weeks and then it's gone.
Yeah, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to do it all over again. And it'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's a bit of an unfortunate scenario there.
It really is.
Gilding works, and because they don't drop Grandmasters at the start of the season, you get that gilded title for all of 14 whole ass days. It's gone.
But my question is, with the new tuning that they're going to be doing, where it's like instead of 50 light levels, they're only going to be doing 10. Do you think that they bring those up a little bit sooner?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
I believe so.
I would assume so, yeah. And I hope that they kind of redo the triumphs for gilding outside of just like complete this on Grandmaster. Like I hope there's more things or different things every season than just complete the strike itself.
Right.
So,
right.
Like if someone really wanted to grind it out, they could complete them all in the first week or 2. That'd be cool.
I like that.
So I thought the strike was cool. Personally, I think the strike is a little bit on the more forgiving side, which is great for the first Grandmaster, especially for people that are just getting in the Grandmasters. It's fantastic because you get the D1 nostalgia, and then it's on the easier side, so you can complete it. It might take you a little while, but you can play really safe. I feel like in a lot of newer D2 strikes, Corrupted is the one that comes to mind for me. That boss room is the most punishing boss room. Like, there's nowhere to hide. She screams at you. She throws you off the edge.
Yep.
It's insanely difficult. Whereas with this one, you could go into that left room. If you play together, if you use some wells, banner shield, and all that, you can stay relatively safe and complete it. So I think a lot more people eventually, once they get to 1325, they'll be able to complete it. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point about Sepix being a strike that's probably going to be a bit easier for people to get into. There are a lot of safe spots you can kind of hide out on that final fight, and that's a good thing. I think that's a good, nice, easy way to ease people into the notion of doing Grandmasters, because there's a huge portion of the population that never did them, like myself. Right. Before the season, never ran Grandmasters because there was literally no reason to do so. It was just the occasional upgrade material as a reward.
Yeah, higher chance and more exotics and materials you're already maxed on. Yeah, pretty much.
Bragging rights.
Great stuff.
Yeah,
whereas
or you could be Ekugan and just masterwork 500 different exotics to hold all your shards that you got.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
The golden vault.
Cheers to that.
Right. Whereas now, we have this entire Nightfall reward system where we have these specific weapons that you can only get from running Nightfalls, and an Adept system for them, which makes me really, really happy. I'm super happy that they're taking the Adept system from Trials and putting it in more in-game activities. And we know that system's going to be seeing an expansion with raids and whatnot when we get the harder version, whatever they're going to call it, of Vault of Glass sometime later this year. I'm really happy that Bungie's pushing forward with that type of system. And,
I agree.
And I can't wait to get my hands on some of the Adept Vanguard rewards that they've got right now. I want to get a decently rolled Swarm. We were talking a bit before the show about the new perk, big ones, right?
Yep.
Seems to be a little bit on the nutty side.
It's good. I mean, it's not any better than boss spec or major spec. It just combines them into one. So it's the same 7.3% damage, but no matter what you're shooting, except for red bars, if it's a yellow bar, you're going to do that much more damage to it. So really, really good, especially on the new sword. The new trial sword that came out.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Because swords are meant to take out that kind of stuff and do a ton of damage to them. And that sword is very good. Very, very good. So another thing that if you can get your hands on one, whether it's Adept or not, definitely worth doing.
Gotcha.
But anyway, sorry, staying on the Swarm.
That's good, because I kind of wanted to hear what specific roles you guys got of it.
On Swarm?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me look at I have it pulled up.
Mine up right now.
Watching
My
some shenanigans with
favorite?
stuff like Bottomless Grief, which is a interesting perk. Allows you to restore your magazine with the last living member of a fire team. You can actually activate that solo by loading into activities with like one teammate and then having them leave.
Yeah.
It just keeps the perk active forever. So it's a good option for soloing things.
Or
True.
when 11 of them leave. Sorry.
Or when 11 leave.
Too soon.
Rest in peace.
My favorite one that I got, I think I got 4 or 5 different roles. My favorite one is Surplus, One for All.
Ooh, that's good.
See,
Yeah, it's very, very strong. One for All gives an insane amount of damage for 10 seconds. And Surplus, because it's a low rate of fire and it has a ton of recoil, and Surplus helps level that out a lot. And then for reload and everything else, I love Surplus as a perk. Like if you come to my stream, and I'm always talking about how amazing Surplus is. And the amount of reload that it gives as well is crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a good perk all around for that kind of gun.
Yeah, I have that exact same role. I have a Surplus, one for all. I have yet to use the Swarm, so I'm that one's now highlighted. I am now locking that. You have heard it here first, folks.
If you have Dragonfly as well, keep that. Dragonfly is very good on it.
Here's another one that I got. Dynamics rate reduction Dragonfly.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Your RNG is pretty solid this week. Got it.
Outlaw and Zen moment on that guy as well. Yeah. So those are my 3 roles.
Of course, you got 3 perfectly serviceable roles. This is the guy who had a haunting that tripped itself into salting itself.
Yeah.
Of course,
RNG
you got
is great.
triple rolls there.
Yep.
And thankfully, that RNG also got you an Eyes of Tomorrow eventually, right?
Oh,
you
yeah.
Finally got one.
Oh yeah, I definitely got one of those.
So it's real now.
It has been real for quite some time. Like probably about a month and a half. It started existing for me. And
Not me.
I got another one to drop as well.
Oh no.
On somebody else, like we were trying to help them like drop their or raise their chances to get it, and then I heard like the exotic ting, like the it's like, oh no, this is bad. I'm not going over to the chest. Hey Dan, what did you get? I'm not going over to the chest. We're not going to play this game.
Oh man, I didn't get loot. I got a bunch of tokens. All right, let's go to orbit.
Oh man, I got a Yallerhorn. Okay, everybody get out of the pool.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Well, there's no such luck for your boy TPL. I still run it. Still haven't gotten it. And apparently there's a lot of people like me.
Yes, there is.
A lot of people out there like me.
Mm-hmm.
Hit that, who is it? Sarah McLachlan, in the arms of the angels and all that kind of stuff. For only 10 cents a day, you can help a poor guardian who doesn't have a decent rocket launcher. Namely me. Hit my PayPal. But we're going to be getting a little bit of help from Bungie in a couple of days as a hotfix comes out. They're actually going to be pushing an update that does 2 things for Eyes of Tomorrow. One, they found that their bad luck protection, as it were, that they added quite a while back, wasn't tracking things perfectly. Instead of tracking your total, well, for those who don't know, what their bad luck protection is when there's like a raid exotic or a raid drop like that you don't get every time you complete the raid and don't get that drop, your chance of getting that exotic or whatever increases the next time you complete it. And so eventually your luck is going to get good enough to guarantee you a drop is the point there. The problem was that it wasn't really tied to your whole account. It was tied to your character. So if you were running the raid on 3 characters a week, each of those characters' chances was going up individually rather than as an account.
That's so painful.
Yeah.
Oof. Big oof.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And you think my RNG is good. We helped a kid. Well, not a kid. We helped a buddy of mine with his first ever DSC, and he got it to drop like in one.
Right.
And we were like, everybody just hated him.
Oh yes.
It's from the entire party.
I've had 2 of those. I did some helps, and each person, their very first. This is one person's first raid ever. He was like, "Well, I got it." Like, and everyone in the chat was like, "Of course you did." Yep.
Oh hey guys, what's this?
Never need to do this again. Thanks, guys.
Don't worry about it. Shard it. Never use it. You don't deserve it. Well, thankfully they've got that worked out now, and so when the update goes live, they're going to make it so that your entire account, every time you run a raid, regardless of what character you're running it on, it counts towards your bad luck protection. And it's actually going to be retroactive.
Yes.
So all the raids you've previously run on all of your characters going to be all tied up, which means hopefully there's going to be a lot of you out there who run the raid after the update goes live and immediately get an Eyes of Tomorrow.
They never said what the percentages were, right? They just said
No.
they're rolling them all together. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see how well that works. But if you do get an Eyes of Tomorrow, well, congratulations, because it's also going to be getting some kind of damage buff. Bungie took a look at the numbers on it, and something we even reported here on this show quite a while back is that it seems the Eyes of Tomorrow seems to have a bit of a damage debuff against mini bosses, stuff like Lost Sector bosses or whatnot.
Yeah.
If you take it in there to try to do some damage testing against the Lost Sector boss, you'll notice it does way less damage than, say, something like maybe the Code Duello or properly rolled Royal Entry, which don't make no damn sense. Thankfully, Bungie got that figured out. And so it's going to be getting a buff there on Tuesday as well, which...
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Thumbs up.
Happy about it. Real happy about it.
On the note of rocket launchers, does it make any sense to you guys that every rocket launcher archetype does the same damage?
No.
Nope.
I don't understand why that is the way it is. I just learned that the other day. I had no idea.
I just learned that today. So
I was like, so all these God rolled aggressive frames that I've been holding on to, like,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's so stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
It's and you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because there might be people in the audience who don't know that. All rockets deal the same, like legendary rockets, all deal the same intrinsic damage. So it's generally preferable to get a precision frame rocket, which is something like the Vanguard's Royal Entry, because those come with auto tracking. You can get all the same perks that you can on like a Code Duello or any of the other ones. It just tracks for you, so it's better. That's something that I hope Bungie takes. Well, I don't want them to nerf the damage on tracking rockets, so I don't know. But it's weird. It's definitely weird that all rockets deal the same damage.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like an aggressive frame should have more damage. It's an aggressive frame.
Yeah.
Just, know, makes sense.
I will say, didn't they buff the drop rate for the Royal Entry as well? Because it wasn't dropping as much.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still haven't had a bottom dollar drop, but I've had 3 of the Royal Entries. Yeah.
Oh boy.
How far are you in your infamy?
Here's the thing, not very far. I haven't been focusing on it. I should probably try.
So make you feel better. My first bottom dollar drop came when I hit Legend.
Okay.
I hit Legend, and my next game I got my first bottom dollar. So that was, I think it was 60 games almost. 50, 60 games before I saw one. Yeah, that's pain.
That's too much Gambit.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Absolutely not. I've gotten one bottom dollar drop, and that was like the first week of the season, and I haven't played Gambit since the first week of the season.
How was the roll on yours when you got it?
Oh, it was garbage, but I can say I got one.
But it exists. It exists for TBO.
Yeah, even though Gambit plays faster, I'm still just not a big fan of it.
I agree with you.
Dude.
It's more bearable now. It's more bearable. I can hop in, have a decent time, but it's not something I seek out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the exact same. Sort of like Iron Banner.
We were taking warlocks in there and bullying the bosses.
Chaos Reach?
Yeah. 4 of those.
Yep.
That'll do it. And it's pretty good.
Yep.
It's pretty good. I don't want to be the person on the other side of that. And I'm sure that I got some messages that have been blocked by the PlayStation, but it was pretty awesome.
Or 4 Thunder Crash Titans all wearing the chest piece.
Yep.
That literally just deletes the Primeval. He's gone.
Yep.
That Primeval Slayer times 2 and just gone.
I haven't tried that yet. I have
you should.
Falling Star. I haven't tried to use it in Gambit.
It's nuts.
Yes. It's like watching fireworks go off.
Have someone tractor... Oh, God, I hate saying this in person. Have someone tractor cannon it. Everyone have their swords or whatever.
Yeah.
Tractor cannon it, Thunder Crash, sword once, and he's dead.
Really?
Yeah. Enjoy the W's.
Yep.
Easy dubs.
Yep.
You know that's gonna... I know Thunder Crash is gonna, or rather Curse of the Falling Star is gonna get a nerf soon.
Yes.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't want it to, but it's It's one of those things where you know it's coming.
It's too
That's
good.
either that or Celestial Nighthawk needs to be brought up to that level. It's the same thing.
Right? I would take that.
I like
would
the
say
way you think.
leave Curus alone and just bump up Celestial Nighthawk. I'd say
then
that's perfect.
On Warlock, bring up the Nova Bomb. Which is it? Skull, Diararm, Kara? What's the one that makes Nova Bomb better? Yeah, Skull. So bring all those up to the Curious level, and then each one has their own.
I mean, hire this man, please. Yep. I would take that over just a carte blanche nerfing of Curus and all that kind of stuff. But I know that Bungie, they probably want to try to figure something out for Gambit there, because they don't want people instantly deleting the game mode boss as soon as they get there.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you wait a little bit. It's a little bit, but
get your primevals. Take the envoys and then drop the bombs on them.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna do with that. I just super worried. They're just gonna be like, oh yeah, well, Thunder Crash. Let's bring that back to where it was beforehand, which is not being used at all.
So I have a question. When the notes come out on it, what do you think the percentage is going to be that they nerf it? Like, what is too much? What is too little in your mind?
I mean, it already does triple that of a golden gun shot.
Yeah.
So 60%.
Yeah. So would you bring it
something like that?
Would you bring it in line with Celestial, or do you think it would?
I mean, it would make the most sense at this point if they're trying to bring it back. Yeah. Like nerfing at 66% or whatever that number is. It would make sense.
I don't think they'd give us a number. I think they would just say they tune the damage, because they rarely give us numbers when they do some of this stuff. But
it would be painful to see it dialed back 66%. Like seeing that number, you'd be like, oh.
That's yeah. But if they were to nerf it, I think Iceman's right. I think they would probably drag it down to Celestial Nighthawk level.
Gotcha.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yep.
But you know what else is unfortunate? The state of trials.
Hey! Wait, hold on. Can we dial that back? Didn't you say Iron Banner was something that you didn't like seek out?
Yeah,
what's on your hat?
Oh yeah, it's the Iron Banner.
That's a D1 Iron Banner thing though. So
yeah. I just thought it was funny when you said that. I looked immediately at your hat and I was like, "That's Iron Banner symbol."
Wait a second.
Okay.
Yeah, get my Lord Saladin sponsorship. As a matter of fact, Lord Saladin is somewhere in the background. There he is, behind World of Warcraft.
Hey, salad bar.
It's salad bar. Yeah, Iron Banner's coming next week. I'll do it because I need the pinnacle rewards so I can do my Grandmaster.
Right.
But I won't like it.
Yeah.
I'll do it, but I won't like it.
You'll probably need it for a weekly quest or weekly triumph as well.
Oh yeah, a seasonal challenge. It's 100% going to be tied to probably some of those.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's going to be coming. All I'll say about Iron Banner at this point is it needs some big changes. I think one would be maybe Bungie stepping away from control.
I agree.
I don't think Iron Banner needs to be controlled.
Rift. Come on, if everybody does it, they have to do it, right?
Anything else.
There you go.
I'll take Rift. I love Iron Banner Rift.
I love Rift. Yeah.
It's a fun game mode.
It would be new for a lot of people. Like it's pretty much a quote unquote brand new mode at that point if you weren't a D1 player.
Yeah.
And like we have some of the mechanics required for it in the game right now. We can carry things. Imagine a Rift game mode where you're throwing like the ball back and forth between one another.
That'd be so cool.
Or where you can steal it off of someone else.
Or you can steal it. Yeah, you can run up and swipe it from somebody.
Yoink.
Oh my! Stasis is gonna ruin that. Oh no!
Not after next week. It'll be fine.
But yeah, I think Rift could really work with you now.
You're very hopeful, Dan. Very hopeful.
Look, I say things hyperbolically sometimes just to raise the hackles of the comment thread on YouTube. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I think Rift would work really well in D2. I think not having to commit to one person carrying the orb over to the Rift like you did in T1 when little Timmy No Thumbs would be like, "What's this?" and pick it up, and it's like, "Oh well, I guess you've got it now. Let's just go." Being able to toss that between people, I think, would be really cool. And you can even have like interceptions and whatnot.
That'd be
would need
so
big
cool.
maps though. We'd need the map
I'm
thinking
okay
of
with
in
that.
my head would be like the first map that comes to my head is Bannerfall, playing Rift on that.
Yeah.
But we would need some bigger maps for it.
We got Fortress. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty good. Yeah.
Bring back that moon map, the huge one.
Ooh, yeah. The
First
like,
light.
combined arms, like the old combined.
And Trials was on it for a weekend, and everyone was like, "I can't find anyone." Like,
Good.
they're in Narnia, we're over here. Like,
It's in the bookcase.
honestly, I think that'd be a good map to bring back. I think with D2, how fast it is compared to D1, bringing back the bigger maps would actually work really, really well.
I mean, bring back all of Combined Arms. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
big
I did too.
battle.
I did too.
Man, so many things that could be done to make Iron Banner better. That's just one big one though. Game mode.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about Trials?
Sure. Let's do it.
Because over the past 2 weeks, we've had Trials has had an interesting time. We did get to cover on our last episode the whole Haka method win trading thing.
Yeah.
Which was a hilarious miniature saga in the story of Trials of Osiris. That got put down, but not before Trials got disabled for a while. It came back, and then there was another win trading sort of scheme, right?
Not that I knew of.
I thought people were still doing it in like just a different way.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Then why did Trials get disabled again?
I think it had something to do about the rejoining feature again.
Oh
right?
yeah, you're right.
Like they were rejoining on like a card that didn't have any losses on it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
that was part of. Yeah, that was kind of the genesis of the whole Haka thing. It's like you you host a card on your alts, and then you swap to your mains when you find a game with people that you're gonna win against.
Yeah.
Which really creative thinking. It's out there looking for the easy dubs. I almost can't hate it, but it got Trials bopped for a while. Trials came back. Trials got bopped again, but it was back this weekend. And Ice, you got a chance to play it, right?
I did.
How was your Trials experience?
Honestly, and I said this on stream when I was playing, it's probably the best experience that I've had since Trials came out in D2.
Really?
Yeah, the playlist was healthy. There were a lot of players coming in at different skill levels. Cards weren't super sweaty. As you got higher up, there were some games that were really competitive. That's not a bad thing by any means. I didn't run into many cheaters. As the weekend's gone on, more and more people have gotten their 3 wins. They've gotten what they wanted, the hand cannon. And as the weekend goes on, you can feel more people getting out of it because you play a lot more cheaters. You play a lot more insane teams. Like I played last night, I matched up against Triple Wreck, Benny, and America.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a fun game. But yeah, so I'm getting more and more matches like that. But the bad part is I'm getting way more cheaters than I did on Friday. So if there's, I don't know, there was a way that Bungie can incentivize people to consistently stay in the list versus like just getting the 3 wins and getting out. It was stay healthy. But it was a blast. The map was good too. Map was fun.
Right. And you bring up something really important there. Getting people to stay in the playlist presents the most healthy kind of environment to play Trials in. And I think one big reason that the player pool for Trials this week was so big is because, like you said, the hand cannon was available.
Yep.
It's one of the most desirable rewards in the game, and I think Bungie purposely put it as the 10-game or the 3-game the 3-game reward, which incentivized a lot because you get it whether you win or you lose, right?
Yeah.
So it incentivized a lot of people to kind of jump in, take their lickings for 3 games, and then jump out and do it again on another character to try to get a good roll of that thing. And I think that's a good sign. I've heard nothing but good things about Trials this weekend. Pretty much everybody that I follow that's usually into it is like, yeah, this has probably been the best week of Trials we've had in quite some time. And I would say that probably shows the way that Bungie should go. You got to incentivize people not just to come play this on the weekend, but to continue playing it throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
And offering those rewards, I think, is a good way to do it. How would you keep people in the playlist longer?
I think offering more tokens. So for people that would like to roll tokens, offering more would be a good thing. I don't know, because then you ran into the issue that Bungie had where people would just reset immediately, like get tokens reset, and that whole thing happened again. So I don't know exactly what the answer is on that. One thing that popped into my mind a few days ago when I was talking with someone else about this was, what if there was a really, really, really low percent chance, if you made it to 3 wins or you made it to 5 wins, you unlock the ability to randomly roll in a depth version. Like you might, or everyone can quote unquote get to the lighthouse or some version of the lighthouse, and then at the end you roll the chest, and based on how you did in the card, what your win-loss ratio was, you either had 100% chance if you were flawless, and your percentage went down for getting an adept weapon.
Okay.
Right.
But it people would stay in the list, they'd play through to 7, and it would be more of like a connection-based matchmaking versus strict card matchmaking, or like a win ratio matchmaking. I don't know what the true answer is, but I think incentivizing people by allowing them to at least have a chance to go flawless by just straight connection-based matchmaking, so they can have an RNG chance of playing people that are at their skill level or below the whole time, or giving them a low percent chance of getting the adept weapon by just, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting sort of perspective there, especially the whole everybody can get to the lighthouse, but maybe at like almost different tiers. It's kind of something like what they did with original Trials of the Nine. Isn't that how they used to play? Where like based on the number of wins you got up a certain level, and only if you went flawless you got to go to the unicorn playground. Yeah. To get the rewards there.
And if they made it, in my opinion, and some people go back on this, like more like the quote unquote casual group, say if you make it straight connection based matchmaking, then I could be playing sweats the whole time, versus like my card base, I have people that are on low cards. And I would say back in D1, Trials was connection based, and every single person, no matter what your skill level was excited to get into Trials. One, because the loot was good, and the armor was super sick, but two, everyone had a shot at going flawless. Like some people were like, yeah, my buddies and I, we grinded literally the whole weekend. We had some cards, we made it to 5, 6, and then we had that one card that we hit flawless. And those are people that like aren't PvP mains at all. And that was like the experience that they'll tell you about today. Yeah. So I don't know. I understand that like the card base kind of protects the more casual player to a certain degree. But connection based, you have the shots. If the playlist is healthy and has a lot of people playing, you have a shot at playing lower skilled people the whole time. It just comes down to card RNG at that point.
I mean, yeah, I think that you hit the nail on the head, which is one of the reasons why I'll always argue connection-based matchmaking should almost always be the standard in a PvP environment.
I agree,
especially when it's a peer-to-peer system. But you know,
yep, I agree.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, man.
So so I know a lot more people were playing, and this will kind of like go into what we had planned to talk about later on tonight too, where it's like with stasis, like how is stasis, was it super prevalent in Trials this time around? Were you facing people? Okay, like
the amount of times that I faced a 3 behemoth titan team was unreal, and that's the cheesiest group that you could possibly run. Like I would take 3 laser beam warlocks over 3 behemoths. Behemoths are just oppressive, and when they get their super, it's almost a guaranteed round. You literally cannot shut them down unless you get a lucky snipe on them. So when behemoth changes happen, I hope that it really brings them in the line, because they can kill your entire team. You get super 5 minutes after they pop their super, and they'll still be in super after they kill you. Like it's stupid. And all the Titan barricades with the Titan ramparts, with how strong 120s are. They just team shot behind those. They keep them up constantly. They always get reses. You can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
And then the really desyncy slide. I hope they fix that somehow. The Titan slide makes desync happen to the degree of like trying to shoot someone in a melee battle where you can barely hit them.
Yeah.
So I hope they somehow bring that in the line. They never addressed that. And then the melee itself is absurd with how good it is. The freeze uppercut melee, the AoE on that thing is unreal.
Tracking, it's got distance on it. It's a nutty class.
Yeah.
It is a very nutty class. And
so yeah, stasis was all over the place. There was not one team that didn't have a stasis person on it.
Gotcha.
If not all three.
I do wonder how and if that's going to change with the hotfix coming this week, because we do know that there are some targeted changes at Titans and at Hunters. The majority of the changes are focused on them, and I wonder. I just wonder if it's going to be enough to kind of wean the environment away from them. I don't know.
I don't think so, because the Hunter shurikens will still do quite a bit of damage. They're still tracking like crazy and hitting everyone. I think a big thing was when you're slowed, to get rid of being suppressed. For whatever reason, I don't understand why suppression slow equals suppression. You should be able to use an ability to get out. Titans can. They can still use their shoulder charge to get out. Warlocks can still Warlock skate on top tree Dawnblade. No other class can get out for whatever reason. So that's another thing that makes Behemoth even stronger. But yeah, they need to really look at how the slow mechanic functions along with the freeze and how long you're frozen when it's not a super. I think any freeze that's not a super should last just as long as the cold snap nade does currently. That is perfect. You get hit by that, you thaw in like a second, and then you move on. All the other freezes in the game are like 5 seconds long. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost like that initial nerf was directed at a specific class.
Right. Yeah.
Warlock throws. I can't put my finger on it.
And Warlocks are barely used.
They're barely used.
Yeah.
I don't know why my boys get the slap down like this all the time from Bungie.
Well, you have Chaos Reach. You're fine.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that middle tree of art is back in like the spotlight, because everybody slept on it for so long. I'm glad to see people are finally realizing how good being able to get your ability energy back like that and having a stupid super is. It's
unreal.
It's good.
It's unreal.
It's real good. Mm-hmm.
How would you nerf that? How would you bring that back in the line?
Well, what is your specific problem with it? What do you see as the most egregious part of that class?
Getting 5 supers in one match. Easily. and every super is a guaranteed kill that drops a large orb on kill for the rest of the team who's running charged with light, high energy fire builds the whole time.
Because topping off is really, really strong. And it triggers at what? 70%?
Yeah, it's like 75, 80, I think, something like that.
80. I wouldn't touch the damage of the super. Maybe lower its orb generation off of Guardians. Maybe make it just a small orb per kill. You'd have to do something about topping off, and that's the one thing I would not want to touch, because it's so useful in PvE.
Mm-hmm.
Well, only other thing I could think of is maybe having topping off charge slower in PvP.
Yeah,
go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, it seems like they're able to tune separately PvE and PvP, at least with the stasis supers.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm looking through this, when they do talk about Chaos Reach under the Warlock subheading from the This Week at Bungie from 311, they just say that they're decreasing the amount of super energy refunded when canceling Chaos Reach early. So that affects you personally, but not your team. So, like, is there a chance that they can do that with light supers, or maybe they built stasis supers a little bit differently?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'd hope so, but that's another big problem there, because it takes like 1 or 2 ticks of Chaos Reach damage to actually kill a Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you cut it off right there, and you conserve a significant amount of your super energy.
And the AoE is crazy. They need to dial in where like you actually have to have line of sight, because you can be 5 feet behind a wall and still get killed by it. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do quite a bit of tuning there. I mean, being able to farm up your super so quickly and so often.
Yeah.
In a couple rounds of trials.
My idea for Geomags which is like obviously the top up problem, is, and this would kind of keep it in balance with PvE as well, is you get a little bit extra super energy on kill past that 60-70%, whatever number it is.
Oh, okay.
But on kill you get a little bit more. Instead of just running into a wall for 3 seconds and getting your super, you actually have to engage.
Yep.
And you get rewarded for getting kills, which PvE is fine because there's kills everywhere and it's really easy. But PvP, you have to think about it a little bit more when you use it. I don't know.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, Ty, it's bonus energy generation to kills. Like you said, rather than being the Energizer Bunny and just building up static by running into a wall.
Hey, you lagging out? No, I'm just building super. Hold on.
All right,
Find out how Warlock generates 5 supers.
That ties into your ad, Dan.
Yeah.
Hashtag
ad. Zap.
Yeah,
you should do a Geomag version of that in your ad.
Oh boy.
That
would involve showing my feet, I think. I don't know. Let's see.
That is a mistake.
I mean, you could have boots
that is
on.
A mistake. I mean, I could have boots on, but it's funny. It's funnier if it's just static, right?
All right, you're sure. You're right. You're right.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're
All right. You win. Fine. You win.
I don't need to win. I just want to show my feet. Anyways, so
OnlyFans. Hit him up.
OnlyFans, yeah.
Fandinity.
So with that said, like, why don't we get into a little bit of stasis conversation following that? Because, like, Chaos Reach is a problem, but the changes that they're making to stasis seem like they might be beneficial in PvP now, right? Like, what are your thoughts, Iceman, of the reductions that they're showing in the TWAB from the 11th of March?
I think it's good. I don't think it's really going to bring them in line to the point where it's going to bring them into balance with the light subclasses. It's still, I feel like especially Hunter, still be huge. Behemoth, I don't know. Well, we'll have to see how it plays out. But there's potential that it really gets brought into line. If the supers really brought into line, then the rest of the kit's kind of whatever. You can still play around that. Yeah. But the Revenant super you can shut down. They just sit in the air and you shoot them in the face.
Yeah.
It's really not that bad. Yeah, I think over the most oppressive thing of Hunter kit are the shurikens. So if they can dial those back, I think it'll be okay. And the Dustfield with shurikens is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suck them into the middle, shuriken, they freeze, you get your damage, and you move on.
But even that is getting like a reduction, like effectively reducing the pull range from 9.5 meters to around 6.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they designed Dustfields with PvE in mind. I don't think they thought about PvP at all.
Clearly, yeah. I think that's wholly apparent that almost all of Stasis was probably designed with PvE in mind. And to be fair, those are some of the changes that they specifically point out in the Stasis patch notes. They talk about Withering Blade, some of the changes they're going to be making there, and some of the AOE changes they're going to be making to stuff like Duskfield when it comes to nerfing those. And for behemoths, obviously one of the first big things that really needed to be looked at was damage resistance, because you get like 60% damage resistance when you pop that super.
Nuts.
It's insane.
But it's down to 50. Like, I think it makes them one-shottable by a high-impact sniper. I think that's where that sits. Because you can't one-shot them now with a high impact. Even with a headshot, they still live.
Yeah.
So they're bumping that from 60% damage resistance down to 50%. And what are some of the other changes? I know they're removing the AoE freeze whenever you cast your super, so you're not going to freeze everybody nearby you. And I think they're making it so that the light attack costs more energy, right?
Yep.
Which is good. That's good.
Yeah.
And the both the left click and the right click now cost super.
Good.
Yeah.
No free movement options.
Yeah. Increase energy cost of using Shiver Strike while in Glacial Quake from 3% to 7% super energy. Using combo of Shiver Strike into a heavy slam attack will now cost the full super energy of both the Shiver Strike and the slam. Previously only costed energy for the slam. And the downwards velocity applied to shiver striking players when they are slowed to pull them out of the air more strongly. They increase that.
That's wild. They released that in a PvP environment. It just blows me away every time.
It's always the case. Every time they release these new classes, it's just, oh my, there was no Crucible testing on this.
No tester is like, hey, you're still in your super. How long has it been? 3 minutes? Like, that doesn't feel right.
Literally can't kill you with anything.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm hoping these changes have a decent effect on the Crucible. I'm with you, Ice. I don't think this is gonna bring parity between the stasis and light subclasses quite yet. I think they've got quite a bit of work to do buffing some of those light subclasses before those really kind of meet parity with stasis, but
yeah,
small steps in the right direction, I suppose.
Yep, for sure.
Psyched about that.
Absolutely.
Well, all right, that's all the news I need to talk about.
Yeah, I think that's fair. We can move into audience questions, of which there is only one, really. Tywin asks, would you like that Saint 14 gets the vendor system like Shaxx and Gambit to help improve the drive to play trials? Do you think if he were outfitted the way that they changed Shaxx and the Drifter this season, if they outfitted him different so that like you progressed across a reward line, would that be better than what it is now?
I don't see why not.
Yeah,
I don't see why not, honestly.
I mean,
would the token system still exist then?
Yeah, that's the question.
Well, I mean, does it exist now in Crucible and
it does not.
Not for
doesn't
Crucible,
one. It does in PvE, and they're going to get rid of that soon. It does not in Crucible.
Yeah.
So I think that would be your answer if they were to try to flatten it across the board. They would have to get rid of tokens.
Right. That's a hard one. I don't know. I really don't know. Because the token system's really nice in that environment for incentivizing people to play. So then they would have to take that incentivization and move that into something within the vendor system that they have now. Yeah. And I don't know what that is. Because I'm not incentivized to play Crucible right now. Like how you reset Valor now is awful. Because you have to delete your prisms or use your prisms to even redeem them, and then you have to reset through completing that list. But yeah, it's just not. It's not something that I could see making a lot of sense for trials, but maybe it would. What do you think, TBL?
Trials it's not a reputation-based system, sort of like, Gambit and Vanguard and Crucible and all of that. So it'd be interesting to see them move over into that. Well, I don't know, because the way they've got it right now, you've got your 3, your 5s, and then your flawless reward pools, and of course, your tokens and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if there's not like a reputation system where you're resetting it every time you reach a certain goal, like with Gambit and whatnot. So, dude, is the question asking whether or not they would add that sort of thing to it? I mean, because
would you replace the current system with the other?
I like what Trash brought up. Yeah.
I was gonna say with Trash in chat. No, keep the tokens for trials, but the rank up package's vendor system on Saint would be upgraded with the tokens. Then you can choose whether either weapon or armor.
Okay, well that sounds better.
Yeah.
As long as we're not sacrificing the kind of system they've got right now and replacing it with like the same sort of vendor reputation system, then I think stacking it on top of each other would work fine. That's actually kind of almost how it worked in D1 with Brother Vance.
Exactly.
Tokens there.
So I like that a lot.
100%. I'm okay with that. Yeah. I think that would work fine.
Yeah. I think this was the first week that I actually felt like I was missing out if I didn't play Trials. And I haven't played Trials, and I feel like I'm missing out.
So then the question is, now that the hand cannon's gone on 3, what other incentive will bring people back the same way?
Yep. Right, because Astral Horizon doesn't have quick draw anymore, right?
It has surplus, which can be kind of quick draw if you have enough abilities up. People don't think about that.
Yeah.
A handling that it gives is very quick drawy.
People sleep. You're right. People sleep on surplus. It's a great perk.
Yeah. The sword, I could see bringing PvE people in because the sword would be very good. Chain reaction on that sword's nuts for ad clear.
Chain reaction on the sword is just a silly thought.
Yeah.
What a silly thought.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Now I want it. Now I want it.
Yep.
Oh God! Now I want it. Okay.
They explode by killing him with a left click. It's so good.
No. I want it.
Swords are perfect ad clearance weapon. They're putting explosions on swords is everything I kind of want.
Right? It can roll with Vorpal as well as like a single target damage option. It's really good.
God, you're just saying all the words I want to hear right now. I want it. God dang, I want it.
I find that really interesting too. That it's the only sword that can roll with that.
That would bring you back into the playlist if it was at 3 or 5, yeah?
I mean, I think so. Yeah, I definitely think so. Especially since Arcu Dagato says the explosion with swords can give you war mind cells. I want it all.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Well, because it's solar.
Is it solar?
Yep.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Yeah. No, that would definitely get me in 1 week. Oh.
Ooh, that's a little nasty. Spawning Warmind cells with a sword. A little bit of that Wrath of Rasputin, huh?
Pair that with some Lucent Blades so it charges faster and it does more damage.
I can't. We're going to have to end this soon.
I like that. I didn't think about that combination at all. That's beautiful.
Yep.
Huh. Okay, yeah, that's something that would probably drag some people in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very unique weapon. The Boltcaster frame hasn't really gotten a lot of love recently, but I think this one has a chance. Definitely does.
It's good. It's real good. I like that. I like it a lot. That's good. And of course, all swords kind of got overshadowed by Falling Guillotine when it dropped. So even though we got the Boltcaster frames back, it was just, spin to win is spin to win. And
Right.
now it's kind of the same with Lament. So I'm really happy to see that the Boltcaster archetype has a worthwhile combination.
The only bad part, in my opinion, is the rocket nerf might overshadow it for like pure DPS. Because now you have auto-loading rocket launchers that do a ton of damage if you have cluster or lasting impression. Yeah. And Izanagi's is still Izanagi's. So you pair any auto-loader with Izanagi's and you're going to do more damage. And Boltcaster, it doesn't recharge its right click without being active.
Right,
so,
yeah. Still, interesting combinations there, man.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Last question of the evening. Tywin again asks, with the current lore story happening, do you hope Zavala gets the Cabal to bow to us?
I don't know. I'm not a lore guy that much, so I can't really speak to it. Keitel seems really shady, though.
Keitel a little sus?
A little sus.
I mean...
A little sus. Her ego's huge. I respect it, but her ego's huge.
Her and Osiris seem to be getting along quite well.
They are.
I mean...
Their banter on the Glycon is great.
It'd be cool to see us team up with them. It would be.
Okay.
And then fight Savathun.
Yeah. I'd say that's probably the story beat that's coming.
Yeah.
I think the setup is pretty clear. That's what they're pushing for. The Cabal will never bow to us. That'll never happen. And to be perfectly frank, Zavala would never ask that of them. No. But I do think an alliance is coming. I think, narratively speaking, they're clearly setting up an alliance. With all the correspondence that Keitel's having, not just with like Zavala and them, but she's talking to you. She's talking to her new BFF Osiris. I love running Glycan and just listening to them talking about Callus and like the history of the Cabal and all the kinds of things that are going on there, you can tell she's gonna become a homie.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if by the time Witch Queen comes out, we see some narrative changes where we have some Cabal allies.
What if
Callus? I feel like Callus has always wanted to be a homie, and we just never let him. And now he might actually come back and be #1 homie.
He's just a weird homie.
He's just a weird blobby like flesh pile homie. He's like
just a flesh pile of homie. Like, hey bro, I built you a zoo.
Jabba the homie.
Like
we call it the menagerie.
he just rolls up like something out of Adult Swim's Aqua Teen Hunger Force and just goes, "Give me a 5. Come on, just right here, guy. Give me a 5."
There you go.
And
can you voice that, Callus, please?
I
Thank
will.
you.
Yeah, give me a 5. Just give me a 5. Since you know how I said that was the last question.
We got more.
I lied. We got more.
Bring them on.
RQ Degato. Do you think that with Nightfall there will be a third power that involves the creators of both the light and the dark? So the architects?
I wouldn't be surprised. The architects, yeah, those dicks. Responsible for more Guardian kills than anything else.
Yeah. I don't know.
They give me the shin splints every time. I don't know. Like, one battle at a time, I think, right? Like,
yeah.
Especially with them talking about how Nightfall and whatever the prologue is, or the post log, or whatever is post, is going to like set up the next big conflict post the Light and Dark saga. So
right.
maybe not Nightfall, but maybe like I could see that being the climax of whatever we're doing, and then the postscript leading into whatever's next. Who knows? We might not even be in the same system.
Yeah, exactly. We might be moving on from Saul.
True.
And I think you're 100% right, Dan. They've already talked about Lightfall being the end of the whole light versus darkness aspect of the story. And clearly, with Beyond Light and moving forward with us getting stasis and stuff like that, they're moving away from that whole light good, dark evil sort of motif. And so if we find out what's behind all of that, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'll blame the Forerunners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For my Halo boys out there. All the Forerunners.
We just have to go and take Master Chief down. But like
good luck.
But like he's not in like green armor. He's like in whatever is across the color wheel from that, and they call him Chief Master.
Chief Master, right. Copyright.
So you're saying he's a Taken? Master Chief got taken?
No. All right, never mind. Full reverse from this story. This fan fiction comes to an end now.
Daddy Chief.
Daddy Chief. That's a thing.
No.
Daddy Uwu Chief. There you
go. This is the final question. The final question. What are our thoughts on the possibility of playing as a Cabal in the Crucible like you're gonna play elites in Halo?
Your hitbox would be massive. Do you want that?
Yeah, big old head.
Can I play a phalanx and just slam into people?
That's all I want. I just want to be a phalanx sitting behind doors.
I just want to be a war beast. I just want to simple life.
Dan is a simple man. He just wants to be a war beast.
I just want
he just wants to bite ankles.
I just want pats on the head and the blood of my enemies. Those are the two things I need. We're good.
I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, people have speculated us playing as alien races for the longest time in Destiny. I do believe someday, probably with a D3 or whatever comes after Lightfall and all that kind of stuff, we may see a playable Elixir class. I think that'd be really cool. Playable Cabal would be something interesting because, like I said, I don't know how that works in PvP.
Yeah.
You're a walking hitbox.
Yeah.
You're a walking headshot hitbox. But,
and they already can't balance subclasses. You want them to balance a whole nother race and model type?
Oh my. Yep.
I love you, Bungie, but for real.
Get playing really want an entire enemy team of scions doing their little purple BS melee nonsense?
You know what?
Just bouncing you into the sky?
If that's the case, I want to be a Taken Phalanx. Make me a Taken Phalanx. I will stand at any door you want. Just any door.
Nope.
Gotcha.
Nope.
Gotcha. We're good.
Oh my goodness.
That would be prime content. I'd watch that.
I mean, if you have a tractor cannon, you can kind of do that now.
More or less.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Is that it?
That's it.
I think so.
That's it. That's all. That's
Right
all.
on.
That's fit to print.
All the questions fit to print. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to bring us to the end of episode 272 of the Planet Destiny podcast. This one's been a fun one, and may I say, we were discreet, professional, and concise this week.
We were.
At least as concise as we can be on this show.
Let me look
The
at
last time I was on, I think we made like 2 hours and 15 minutes, so we're an hour ahead of schedule.
We're ahead of schedule. We're
Yeah.
trying. We're trying not to take up your entire night here.
We're trying to like a little less fluff, a little bit more jab. You know what I mean? It's like,
But I like hanging out with you guys. That's the problem.
I mean, we could hang out after this, like if
Okay.
you
All
want.
right. Fine.
We
All
could
right.
have an after podcast.
Yeah. You want to have an after podcast party?
Sure.
Yeah, after podcast.
Talking about the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's review the podcast after the
Right.
podcast, and let's release it weekly. It's called the After Planet Podcast.
Ooh.
The After Planet podcast. This Dan has a problem, by the way, people. He can't stop making new shows.
I just started another podcast. Don't get me started. Don't.
Wait. On top of Beardo?
Yes, on top. Yeah. Yep. I got an addiction, guys.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
the editing audio.
Intervention. Oh my.
Oh.
Addiction to editing audio.
Yeah, man.
I just can't stop doing it.
Just
I
can't
I
stop.
don't control it. I wake up and I just find myself in the studio at Audacity, at Premiere.
I got this new setup. Now I want to use it.
Oh
What's so bad about that? I don't understand. You're not
What
my
is this
dad.
I know this is. What is the new podcast about in like 5 words?
MCU episode recaps.
Ah. Okay.
Ooh. Man, damn it! Now you done bit me with the bug. I like the sound of that. I spent a large portion. We want to know why I haven't played Trials of Grandmasters? Because I watched the Snyder cut this weekend,
I'm
and
so
I had
sorry.
to cut it in half because it's 4 hours of movie. I did like an hour and a half yesterday, the rest today, and I want to do nothing other than sit in front of a camera and talk about it. I mean, quick review. It's better than the theatrical cut of Justice League,
Yeah.
but
How's that
holy moly!
How's that
It's
4:3 screen?
4:3. This is the most Zack Snyder film I have ever seen, and it is a little insufferable. But
You saw Watchmen
Okay.
probably too, right?
oh yes,
Yeah.
Mhm. This is more Zack Snyder than Watchmen.
No.
Oh
thanks.
Lord.
No,
Okay.
But I will
Good to
say,
know.
I'll give credit where it's due. It's a far better film than the theatrical release of Justice League.
Okay.
Okay.
It's far better. I enjoyed it way more. All 4 hours of it, way more than the hour and a half that Justice League was.
Good to know.
Man, I want to do a movie podcast now. No, we're stopping this.
Yep.
Thanks for watching or listening to episode 272. Our special guest tonight, of course, the one, the only Mr. Iceman. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, brother.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Dude, literally anytime.
Yes.
You are always a fantastic host. And before we get on out of here, of course, I want to let you take the floor, let everybody know where you can be found across the internet.
Sure.
And what it is you do.
I'm Iceman 1H. There's no more underscore except on Instagram. There's an Iceman 1H on Instagram that's inactive, and I can't get it, and I'm sad. But I'm on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all that good stuff. All the usual outlets. I'm on it. But we play all kinds of D2 content, different FPS RPG content. I've been into Tarkov a bunch. So yeah, if you're enjoying some FPS RPG content with a lot of PvP, a lot of Final Fantasy as well. That's my huge just PvE single player dump is Final Fantasy games. I love them. Yeah, that's it. Generally Monday through Friday, at least 4 days a week, starting around noon central.
Right on, right on. Get over there for some good content. And the man, he's a man of taste. Final Fantasy, you can see it over there in his background. He's got good taste. Show them FF titles. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Love it. I absolutely love it.
Got 7, 4, and 6 shadow boxes down there. Those are my nearest and dearest.
7, 4, and 6. Have you played 7 Remake?
I have. It's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. You played that last year at launch, right?
Yeah. And I need a PS5 for the Yuffie DLC, dude. I can't find one. I'm so sad.
Brother, I'm sitting here just sweating, waiting for it to drop on PC. Like, please, Square, please.
Right?
Just announce it, please.
Right? Same.
For a game that wound up being not at all what I expected, it is a phenomenal experience. I really learned to love it once you accept it. It's great. It's good stuff.
Yep.
But Dan, what about you, man? Where are you?
Oh, hi. When you can't find me on podcasts, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at Danfinity. We're the ISRLs. You can also find me on Twitter or Twitch. Oh my God. We haven't done this in 2 weeks. And now here I am. You can also find me on Twitch 3 days a week, twitch.tv/Danfinity. Have had a lot of support over the past few months, and y'all are crazy with that. This coming Saturday, from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. I will be on the Last Rites channel, helping them with a charity cause. I believe you are as
me
well.
too.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
me too.
Yeah.
Right on.
So, you can hang out with us there on their Twitch channel. And, look up podcast. If you find Danfinity, search that in Spotify, and you'll probably find, 20 podcasts that I'm producing. So, just do that.
The man's got an addiction. You search the word podcast, it actually just brings up Danfinity.
In the dictionary.
Well, all right, man. Of course, my name is The Black Link. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at The Black Link. This week's probably going to be more of the same. We had quite a few live streams last week. Did a bit of a lot of Destiny 2. I'm really enjoying my time on D2 right now, just casually grinding my way towards 1310 base, and I'm going to probably be trying to push, with Iron Banner coming up this week, trying to push my way through that so I can get enough pinnacles to really start farming out those Grandmaster Nightfalls. So we generally stream Mondays to Fridays, starting at around 11 a.m. Eastern time till about 1, 2 in the afternoon. And Monster Hunter Rise is going to be dropping this week. I will be streaming a lot of that. I think it drops on the 26th. So I'll be streaming definitely a lot of that as that comes out. Really looking forward to it. I'm a gigantic Monster Hunter fanboy, so.
I wish I could have gotten into that more. I tried it a couple times, just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Not for everybody.
It's fun to watch, though.
Yeah. It's definitely not for everyone, but it's for me.
I've been playing this game lately. I started playing it on Thursday because I was told by a buddy to hop in and do the first 5 hours by myself.
Okay.
I've been playing Valheim. And
Oh, yeah.
Buddy.
I have heard good things about Valheim.
I am addicted. It is pretty awesome. Just everything that you can do in there. There's a bird. It talks to you. It tells you what to do. I'm cooking meat in storms. It's a whole thing.
Dig it.
Sounds great.
Yeah. It's my favorite pastime is cooking meat during a storm. So
During a storm.
yeah.
I mean, me too. IRL.
You'd fit in well in Florida.
Hell yeah.
Right, yeah, I'm going to have to go. I've watched a few Valheim streams. It looks like a lot of fun. Just really interesting game.
Oh, it's like $20. For how kind of it looks a little jank on the outset, but it is beautiful jank.
Yeah.
And I'm completely fine with it.
I have to ask, are you guys going to play Outriders when it comes out?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. We need to play together. So we'll make that happen.
If you need a trickster, let me know.
Hey, I'll be a trickster as well. Just pure damage.
Pure damage.
Yes, baby.
Momentum, speed, and aggression.
Let's go.
I'm already seeing the Outrider podcast getting ready to start up. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in to episode 272 of the Planet Destiny podcast, your guide to this week in Destiny. We'll catch you all next week. Thanks so much for listening.
Later, guys.